Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Hello and welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. Thank you for joining us on Comcast Channel 15 and on AT&T Channel 99. You can also find us online on civiccentertv.com on our website, where you'll also find us on demand as well as live all throughout the day. You can find us too on Facebook today on facebook.com/Civic Center TV 15. And joining us this week on today's program is the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department. And give them a like and follow along with them on Facebook as well while you're watching us this morning. In addition, you can find us on YouTube every single day on demand and live via YouTube Live at Civic Center TV, or search Greater West Bloomfield Civic Center TV and you'll find our channel. While you're there, I would encourage you, if you're not logged in to your Google account, or you don't have a Google account, go ahead and make one, because then if you watch our shows on YouTube and maybe you have to tune out to the live show sometime during your day or in the middle of something at work or at home, and you're going to miss part of the rest of our live show, you can always come right back into your history and watch from the point that you left off on YouTube at Civic Center TV 15. Beautiful day yesterday, Diane. Nice and sunny, but it was also kind of cool. I was outside for a while later on in the afternoon before we had some meeting coverage to do at Civic Center TV last evening, and it was rather cool. Seems like it's going to be a lot of the same throughout the remainder of the week and into the weekend.
That is true, Tyler. We do have partly cloudy skies start today, all through Saturday. A lot of room for sunshine as well as we go through the day. We're expecting highs of 69 today and lows of 50. And as we go through Friday, temperatures are going to slightly rise to 71 in the daytime and lows of 52. Continuing to rise on Saturday with the highs of 72 and lows of 57. A very pleasant transition to the fall season, Tyler. Some sun is expected, partly cloudy skies. It's not too hot. It's going to be a little bit chillier as we go into the evening, but nevertheless a very beautiful weekend to come. Very nice weekend to enjoy all our outdoor activities.
Yeah, it's been a really nice week outside. It's going to be really nice throughout the rest of the week, but maybe pack along an extra sweatshirt or maybe a windbreaker jacket to keep yourself a little bit warmer, especially if you're going out on Friday night to Lake Orion High School like I will be doing for the football game. We won't be broadcasting it live, so we do encourage you to go out there and make sure that, hey, look, we can't bring you the broadcast this week for a variety of different reasons at Lake Orion High School, that they have their regulations there like we do at West Bloomfield High School. So we would encourage you, if you want to see the Lakers play on Friday night, and you of course can't see it on your TV screens or listen to it on your radio in our local community because our broadcast won't be there, we encourage you to bring the swamp out to Lake Orion, out to Dragon Country, and help us slay the dragons on Friday night. But bring a sweater with you. It's going to be a little bit cooler as the night goes on. Making news around the Greater West Bloomfield area today, a very important discussion happening this evening at the Hawk Community Center in Farmington Hills related to suicide prevention. That's all been organized by the Farmington Hills Police Department. We'll tell you about that event and when you can attend it in Farmington Hills this evening. Speaking of the West Bloomfield Lakers, they are ranked in the AP top 5 in the state of Michigan after their initial high school football rankings were released division by division. We'll tell you who else is in that top 10 and what implications these rankings have for this Friday's game at Lake Orion. Coming up tomorrow, a free pie for teachers and others in education in our community. We'll tell you where you can get that free slice in our community. West Bloomfield Parks every month provides a different conservation tip to help you live a more green lifestyle. We'll talk about this month's Green Dream Initiative from the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Department coming up later on. In the West Bloomfield School District, we talk a lot about our athletes, but often not enough talking about our mathletes, how you can get your kids involved in competition while also helping them learn along the way. Then Dave DeBoer from the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department will join us to talk about their annual open house, a little bit more special this year than it is in years past because they're celebrating 100 years of service. We'll talk about that a huge milestone for the fire department, as well as this year's open house later on in the program. Plus, also happening in the West Bloomfield School District as they go back into the schools, classrooms, making their agreements on how they're going to conduct themselves. Here's an example of what's called a social contract in Mrs. Howell's class. Dayan Chaaban will give us more details on what social contract means and what the class agreed to do in the classroom to behave properly and treat each other with kindness. Plus, coming up tonight at the Sylvan Lake Community Center, a nice night of crafting, an opportunity to get to know some of your neighbors and have some fun and make some art. Then Monday, a chance to enjoy the morning as you kick off a new week with some coffee with your neighbors as well. That's also happening at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. And for you seniors, a really important discussion coming up with State Senator Rosemary Bayer, who will be hosting her senior summit later on this month. We'll tell you how you can get involved in that as well. Then you'll see the latest adoptable pets in the West Bloomfield area. Dayan Chaaban will give you a few examples and tell you how you can help these furry friends of ours find their forever homes in our community. All that and more coming up. This is your home for your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. The Splash Live continues after this.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Learn more about fire prevention in our community at the West Bloomfield Fire Department Open House, Sunday, October 1st, from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 in West Bloomfield. Embrace safety and celebrate 100 years of service from our West Bloomfield Fire Department, October 1st at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road, plus coverage from us right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy, and if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action. Will you?
Ronnie started doing prescription pills at the age of 15, and by 19, he died. If your child is struggling with drug use, try not to be too proud to reach out for help. Don't be worried about what the neighbor will think or your family. Just get your child the help they need. Sometimes it's the hard road to take, but the hard road is nothing compared to living with the fact that your child is no longer with you.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. Our top story today, as we continue on through Suicide Prevention Week and we're in Suicide Prevention Month in the month of September, is a really important discussion that's happening in neighboring Farmington Hills tonight. A suicide prevention forum that is going to hold a discussion on issues of mental health from the Farmington Hills Police Department and partners from other departments and other organizations across southeastern Michigan and around the U.S. This is happening tonight, September 14th, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Hawk Community Center in Farmington Hills. That is located at 29995 West 12 Mile Road in the auditorium at the Hawk Community Center. They'll have a discussion on mental health, on community services related to mental health, on intervention and providing support for those that are struggling with their mental health or maybe have started to have some suicidal ideations, what you can do to help people in our community and recognize the signs of anxiety and depression and other mental health issues that could arise over the course of a person's lifetime. Plenty of speakers who are experts on this from the front lines in our law enforcement and first responder communities. Of course, Farmington Hills Police Chief Jeff King will be leading the discussion alongside partners from throughout southeastern Michigan, such as Southfield Police Chief Elvin Berry, Detroit Police Chief James White, Wayne County Sheriff Raphael Washington, as well as officials from Corewell Health and organizations such as the American Foundation for suicide prevention, as well as other suicide prevention and mental health advocacy organizations that will be participating at this event. Again, that is happening tonight at 5:30 p.m. and running till 8:30 p.m. in the auditorium of the Hawk Community Center located on 12 Mile Road in Farmington Hills. For more information on how you can participate in this event, you can contact the Farmington Hills Police Department on their non-emergency number 248-871-2750, 248-871-2750, or contact their event coordinator PG at 248-832-2799. There's also a really good article about this that goes into a little bit more detail also about what's going to happen in this discussion and at this event tonight in your local newspaper in West Bloomfield. That's the West Bloomfield Beacon, but the equivalent of that in Farmington Hills is the Farmington Press, and that is all through CNG newspapers. If you go to their website, you'll find a full article on this for even more details, or of course those numbers provided for the Farmington Hills Police Department non-emergency 248-871-2750 for more info. And Dayan, this is a great way to address mental health in our community. For those that maybe have not gone forth with addressing this in their lives, or haven't had these sorts of discussions in their families or within their groups of friends, this is a great way to learn how to approach those situations, how people in these scenarios in their life often feel, and then recognize those signs and those symptoms, but also have strategies to be able to address these in your life and with people that you care about.
Tyler, I think it is extremely important that we do have open discussions about that, and this is exactly what this forum is about: is having these open discussions, trying to reduce the stigma and raise awareness. Other than that, it empowers communities to create these support networks for people who are suffering with mental health disorders that may lead to suicidal ideation. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of benefits to these forums, and again, as you said, there's health officials that are gonna warn us or tell us more about the signs of depression or the signs of a person with suicidal ideation, and maybe we can recognize them within our family members. We can help them. There's also a lot of resources. So all in all, this is such a great forum. It's a great and very essential that we again talk about this openly. It's no longer in the box. It's no longer stigmatized. So again, this forum is essential for anybody who is suffering or anybody who wants to help a family member who is currently suffering with suicidal ideation.
Yeah, and it's great because they're going to be talking about this from a variety of different levels of expertise and levels of awareness in our community. From the law enforcement and first responders side, we'll have police department officials from a number of different communities across southeastern Michigan, both in Oakland and in Wayne counties, talking about this. Public health officials from Corewell Health can give more of a medical angle on this. And then those from organizations that are advocating for mental health and are advocating for suicide prevention can also give their expertise on this as they're helping people find those resources, find those treatments, and helping others learn those strategies to try to help people in their lives who may be suffering from some of these ailments. Again, one more time, that is happening tonight from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Hawk Community Center. The address 29995 West 12 Mile Road, and that's happening in their auditorium. Happening Friday night at Lake Orion High School, a huge game between the Lakers and the Lake Orion Dragons, and even bigger implications now after the Associated Press earlier this week provided their first release of the Michigan high school football rankings across divisions, providing top 10s in all of Michigan's football divisions, 11-player football divisions going forward, and they'll do that week to week. The first top 10 list featured West Bloomfield in the top 5, coming in at the number 3 overall ranking after last week's performance, defeating Stony Creek at home. West Bloomfield's 3-0 and number 3 overall in the rankings. The number 1 team is a perennial rival for West Bloomfield across the Division 1, a fellow contender year in and year out, and a 2-time defending state champion in Division 1. The Belleville Tigers are the number 1 team in the state of Michigan, according to the Associated Press at this time. Other familiar foes are on that list, including Utica Eisenhower, a team the Lakers have seen a few times over the last few seasons, who are tied at number 10 overall. Southfield A&T, who we'll be seeing in just a few weeks in the Lakers' final home game, the second to last regular season game. They are number 6 in the state, having big wins already this season. against teams such as Cass Tech, a team that did not fall in the top 10 but received top 10 votes in this week's rankings. And then the most familiar foe of all of them is their opponent this week, Friday. It is a top 10 matchup between the number 3 Lakers and the number 9 Lake Orion Dragons after their close game last week against the Oxford Wildcats at home in Dragon Country. West Bloomfield heading out there. That kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Unfortunately, we will not be covering the game this week due to circumstances at Lake Orion High School. Very exclusive with their TV broadcast allowances there. The team at Orion Neighborhood Television will be providing coverage on TV or video coverage of that game through the NFHS network, which you'll have to subscribe to in order to see coverage of this game live on Friday. And then we will have further analysis of the game on Monday and throughout next week on This Week in Laker Football. And then we'll be back next week Friday with a live broadcast at home against Rochester Adams, another big game coming up next week. But all eyes are on Friday night, West Bloomfield heading into Lake Orion for a big matchup. And we highly encourage you, look, you can't watch it on Civic Center TV. You can't listen to it on the 89.3 Lakes FM. There will be no stream of it on civiccentertv.com/Lakersports because of the circumstances at Lake Orion High School. But you can still attend the game. You can still go out and support your Lakers. It's going to be a nice night. Bring a light sweater or a jacket or something to make yourself nice and comfortable and toasty in the stands. And bring the swamp to Dragon Country and show them what our fan base is made of as you support the Lakers, who are number 3 in the state, but could, maybe rise to number 2 or compete with Belleville for number 1 if they're able to defeat the number 9 Lake Orion Dragons this week. Good news for educators outside the classroom. Hey, they're teaching our football players and our athletes and our mathletes all throughout the year, and now they have a chance on Friday after the school day gets out to enjoy a tasty treat for free, courtesy of the Pie Collective by H-Hats on Telegraph Road in Bloomfield Hills. Their free Pie Friday is coming up tomorrow. A free slice for educators, administrators, and school support team members at their Bloomfield Hills location at 1983 Telegraph Road in Bloomfield Hills. All you got to do is go into their business, show your school ID, and pick the slice of your choice, and there you go. You'll have a free slice of pie to end off your week and celebrate the second full week of school in the Bloomfield Hills School District, and for West Bloomfield, the third week of school coming to its close. What better way to celebrate than with a tasty slice of pie on your way home? And it's free for, again, educators, administrators, and school support staff. And Diane, great to see this support for our educators early on in the school year.
Tyler, I think it's very heartwarming what they're doing. I know it's probably just a slice of pie, but it is a great way to thank our teachers, and we are always very grateful to our educators who again have been working so hard throughout the summer to make the best of this school year. So again, this is a great way to say thank you. A great gesture from the pie place. I'm sorry, I forgot the name, and here's the thing, it looks super delicious. That pie looks so crisp, and and the cherries in the middle. This looks amazing. Can we have do you think we can have this educators? Anybody can borrow us some educators card for this Friday? I'm just messing with you, but I hope all our educators just enjoy this amazing pie. It looks great, and you deserve it, and you deserve so much more.
Again, this is at the Bloomfield Hills location. In that graphic, you may have seen other locations. There was no indication in this post, which was by one of the owners of this company, of the Pie Collective, whether or not this will be happening at their Armada, Chesterfield, Troy, Shelby, Beverly Hills, Oxford, or Madison Heights locations. It is confirmed it will be happening at their Bloomfield Hills location, so that may be the place to go. 1983 Telegraph Road, all Friday afternoon, September 15th. Throughout our local community. Free pie for our teachers. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, how you can conserve energy and live a greener lifestyle as you're heading off to the Pie Collective on Friday with your educator friends for that free slice of pie, and throughout the community all throughout the week and the weekend. Plus, how your kids can participate in athletics while also learning along the way. Stay tuned. More of your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets. Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM continues after this on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Watch West Bloomfield Lakers football all season long on 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. Join Tyler Kieft and Matt Catoni each week for live, in-depth, and exclusive coverage before, during, and after the big game. It's your local high school football team on the road and in your backyard on your home for West Bloomfield Laker football, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Dayan Chaaban. Great tips all throughout the year from West Bloomfield Parks on how to live a more energy efficient lifestyle, a greener lifestyle, supporting our local environment. And hey, they're the best people to go to for this sort of advice. Look at what they do all throughout our communities, in our beautiful parks, landscapes, outside the town hall complex, their nature room. They are the source to go to for information on conservation and living a more green lifestyle, but also doing that in a way that's realistic and can be employed in anybody's day-to-day life. They do this month by month on their social media in what's called their Green Dream. It's their conservation tip of the month, and they just released their September Green Dream, which is all about carpooling to reduce carbon emissions. If you take a look at the graphic that they've made here, they say carpooling is a great way to reduce your carbon footprint. They're suggesting that you share rides when you can, maybe instead of you driving yourself somewhere, maybe you take a ride share, and then now you and somebody else are riding throughout the community, and you can share that ride with other people, with friends. Maybe you carpool into work and pick people up along the way. Now it's one person driving 4 or 5 people maybe into the office and back home, instead of 5 people driving 5 different vehicles, a variety of different locations. That conserves a little bit of energy, that reduces the carbon output, and could really have a nice impact on our environment. According to the U.S. Census, there were 8.6 million cars in the state of Michigan as of 2022, and West Bloomfield Park says carpooling to the park is a great way to enjoy nature while also reducing your carbon footprint, which, hey, Diane, that helps to conserve that very nature that you are exploring. And some good advice from our friends at West Bloomfield Parks.
That is true, Tyler. And apart from all the environmental benefits that we can have from carpooling, we can also save cost, whether it's fuel. We can have these social connections as we drive, whether it's to work or to these parks. It's very enjoyable to have someone with you in the car. There's also a lot of benefits to carpooling, Tyler. It reduces the wear and tear on your vehicle, so plus the environmental effects, plus reducing the fossil fuels emissions. There's a lot of benefits. It's enjoyable. It's less costly. So why not? This is a great tip, again, from West Bloomfield's environmental conservation. It's just, I guess, why not? I am an environmentalist, so I love these kind of tips.
Yeah, and you know what? It's good advice for me, because right now I legally cannot be driving until the end of October due to medical reasons. So I'm already following this. It's working out great for me. It's not that big of a hassle, to be quite honest. And look at the gas prices right now. If you're sharing rides, whether it's carpooling or using a ride share or whatever you're doing to reduce the amount that you are driving throughout the community, at least you're not paying for all that extra gas. I saw prices that were anywhere from $3.70 all the way to $3.80 just on my ride home last night. In the back seat, don't get worried about that. It was a safe ride home. So good advice from West Bloomfield Parks. You can always follow along with their advice by visiting wbparks.org, or that you can see these posts from their Green Dreams all the way back several months and future ones as well by following them on facebook.com/WBParks. In the West Bloomfield School District, an opportunity for your kids to get involved in competition without ever hitting an athletic field along the way. You have a chance to compete with the Math Pentathlon team, and they're encouraging you to stop by their table at open houses across the school district all throughout the year. We recently talked about the West Bloomfield Middle School's open house that happened late last week, and there's others that will be happening all throughout the month of September and going forward at schools across the district. And the great thing about the Math Pentathlon team is that you can participate from kindergarten all the way through 7th grade, and you don't have to worry about competing against older kids. The competition is separated by grade level. You're using interaction to problem solve different math problems or real life situations by using math. You learn about sportsmanship. You get to know some of the kids in your grade with similar interests and similar passion for learning. And the greatest thing about all that is along the way, there are no injuries while you're from being on the field or in competition or from a contact sport. It's all about learning. It's all about math and problem solving. The only thing that you might experience injury-wise, Diane, is maybe your brain hurts a little bit after doing all of that math, especially for those younger kids who are just starting out and going well beyond the addition, subtraction, and multiplication that you're learning at the very earliest level. But hey, if that's the worst you're getting, there's a lot of benefits from joining the Math Pentathlon team.
Tyler, it is always a good thing when your head hurts after something such as learning math. Because, hey, here's the thing. So a lot of people suffer from learning math, and I think this is a very fun way. I have some cousins who have sorry, I don't know how you like that. I have a lot of cousins who have joined this competition, and they truly, it truly enhanced their math skills. It's such a great way to learn and enjoy their time, especially if your kids are competitive. So it is a great way, again, to enjoy math, learning math. We didn't have that back in my days. We didn't have a lot of math competitions, and honestly, I was not very interested in math. I'm not that good at it. So having these competitions can truly, truly intrigue your kids to learn more about this and enjoy math while doing it, right?
Yeah, it's a great team to join. It's very competitive. They have won a number of different awards. They've had kids be champions statewide and in other tournaments that they've participated in from kindergarten all the way through 7th grade. And like you said, I wish I would have had some of these competitions. I would have been a lot better at math. If I were a mathlete, I would have sprained my ankle a whole lot less than I would have running cross country in my senior year. And hey, we would have won something as a change. That would have been a nice change of pace too. Our team slogan was quite literally, "It could be worse." In this case, it couldn't get better. This is a really good team, and you can learn more information about how your kids can participate on the Math Pentathlon team from kindergarten all the way through 7th grade and other extracurricular activities, both athletics and non-athletics, by visiting wbsd.org or following along with them on their social media, including on their Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, a really exciting event coming up at the beginning of October, celebrating our local first responders, recognizing the work that our firefighters are doing each and every day to protect our community, but also celebrating a major milestone for the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department. Deputy Fire Marshal Dave DeBoer will join us next. Stay tuned. It's more of your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets coming up next on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
When you have a gambling problem, you have a money problem. Don't let your gambling cause you financial hardship. If you or someone you love is struggling with gambling, we can help. Get free confidential counseling and win your life back. Learn more at michigan.gov/problemgambling.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. We also thank you for joining us online today on civiccentertv.com, where you can find links to our social media, where we're also broadcasting live. That's our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook channel via Facebook Live. And we also encourage you to give a like out today to our friends at the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department, our Facebook partners, on today's edition of The Splash Live. Joining us now from the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department is Deputy Fire Marshal Dave DeBoer, as we're heading toward another edition of the West Bloomfield Fire Department Open House coming on Sunday, October 1st from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station Number 1 in West Bloomfield. Dave, thank you so much for being with us today. So we're having some issues hearing Dave. I don't know if he is muted on his side. If we can take a look at that real quick. Again, we'll just review. The Fire Department Open House is on Sunday, October 1st from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station Number 1. That is the fire station directly next to West Bloomfield High School to the north. There will be live demonstrations, hands-on displays, plenty of more fun that you've seen in years past. And you can park, of course, at West Bloomfield High School and then get shuttled up to the fire station, courtesy of our friends at West Bloomfield Parks. Dave, let's try again with Dave DeBoer and see if we can hear him at this moment. Dave, thanks for being with us. Appreciate having you on the show. Okay, so we are continuing to have some technical difficulties with Dave DeBoer. We will take a quick break. We'll address those real quick and come right back with more. Stay tuned. You're watching and listening to The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. We also appreciate you joining us on Civic Center TV and civiccentertv.com, as well as on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15. And thank you for joining us on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department, as we are going to be talking with Dave DeBoer here in just a moment about the Fire Department Open House, a really fun event, but also they have plenty of more updates on fire incidences and safety tips and more going on all throughout the community, all throughout the year. So if you have a chance to follow them on Facebook, please do. If you haven't given them a like and you're watching our program today, head over to their page, give them a like, and then come right back and watch us, or stay tuned to them right on their Facebook page as well. And in addition, you can always find us live and on demand on our YouTube page at Civic Center TV 15. Joining us now on the program is Dave. Just a moment. Calvin, you said something in my ear. Just go ahead and tell that to me again as I'll reset. Okay. All right. So we will take a brief moment. We'll come back around and talk to Dave DeBoer, and we'll talk about, in the meantime, a really fun event that's coming up later on tonight at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. They'll be doing some arts and crafts with your neighbors at the community center, an opportunity to do that tonight, but there is limited registration. So if you haven't RSVP'd yet, we highly encourage you to use the contact information available to you on this screen to contact Mary Bauman from Sylvan Lake about participating in tonight's event. They're looking not just for those that are interested in creating some art at the community center with the community tonight, but also looking for people that may be able to teach some simple art projects to people that will look really nice and won't be too tough to figure out with some guidance and with some friendly guidance from those in the community. This is happening tonight at 6:30 p.m. at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. Again, that is the Sylvan Lake Community Center. It's on Pontiac Drive in Sylvan Lake, 6:30 p.m. It's $10 to participate in order to cover materials that will be provided to you through this event. This will be happening regularly throughout the year also, from all indications. So if you're unable to attend tonight, you can attend another edition of Sylvan Craft Night throughout the year. Bring your imagination and creativity with you and be ready to have fun creating some art with your friends in the prettiest little city in the state of Michigan. To register, you need to RSVP with Mary Bauman by contacting her at mrsbman@aol.com. mrsbman@aol.com is the place to go to find more information on this event or participate in future events, including if you're someone that is an artist yourself and has some ideas for art that can be created within a couple of hours, really, is what they're intending on having this event be. It's not going to be a very long event. but 2 hours, they said maximum, so it'll be done by 8:30. But if you'd like to participate, it's $11. Or if you want to participate in another event, maybe even as a teacher, you have an idea for an art project that will take 2 hours or less to complete, that is the contact information you see on your screen on Civic Center TV. In the West Bloomfield School District, a really nice thing that they do in their schools and in their individual classrooms is create what's called a social contract, an agreement of sorts between the teacher and the students in the classroom of how they're going to conduct themselves on a day-to-day basis, both from student to teacher, student to student, and from classroom to other classroom, all across the elementary, middle, and high school levels. Dayan Chaaban has a really nice story posted from the West Bloomfield School District earlier this week. That's a great example of these agreements in our local school district. Dayan.
Yes, Tyler. So they shared this very sweet post about Mrs. Howell's social contract. So it's a contract between the teacher and all the students in her class. You can see in the picture right here, you can see all the students' names, and there's the contract in the middle. So I'm just going to read a little bit about these social conducts that Mrs. Howell's included in the contract between her and the students. So first of all, it's to treat others how we want to be treated. Be kind always, follow directions the first time, keep your hands to yourself, try your best and never give up, always include everyone, give put-ups only, be respectful, tell the truth, be brave, show love, and be a good listener. Tyler, all these are great social conducts for kids to learn. This kind of contracts, I understand it's not only to prevent bullying and to show respect to one another, but it also shows it also makes these kids feel a sense of accountability at a very young age, which is something incredible to do. It is such a great social behavior to acquire as we are young. It's good to prepare them as they go into middle school and high school. We do know that it gets tougher and tougher as we get older and as we go into the higher grades. So this is a great way to establish these young kids on good behavior as they are young. Fostering the sense of accountability and expectation standards. I think very, very important form of education right here, Tyler. It's not just to educate our kids on certain curriculums, maths and sciences, but also to teach them how to be good individuals in the community. So this is where we start, and this is where Miss Howells starts.
Yeah, credit to Ms. Howells and the other teachers throughout the West Bloomfield School District who are enacting these social contracts this week. But what's great about this also is that it's not something that the teacher is saying, these are the rules you're going to follow. That's kind of what we had back in our day in the classroom. Certainly, I remember our teachers having teachers that had a specific set of rules and said, you're coming into this classroom, you're going to follow these rules, or you're going to be in a different classroom, that classroom being the principal's office or in the front office, having a discussion with administration and with your parents about your conduct. In this case, the social contract is a negotiation of sorts between the teachers and the students in their classrooms individually, where they are collectively, as their own sort of miniature society, creating their rules of conduct and the standards they're going to hold themselves and each other to in the classroom, which makes this an interactive experience. It makes it something that has personal choice to it. It's something that you've created, you've agreed to, you as a collective group have agreed to, and instead of it being something that is foisted upon you, it's something that you have decided as a group you're going to do on your own. And what's great about this too is that participation doesn't make it seem forced. It's voluntary, and it's building, using that plasticity of these younger kids in their brains, those sort of ideas of, all right, we have a collective agreement amongst us in our classrooms, outside of our classrooms, in the hallways, how we're going to treat each other and treat ourselves. And that can, as you said, it was a really good point, lead on to better behaviors later on in their school life as they get into middle school and into high school. Those more rebellious ages, have a little bit less of an impact at that point because you have these ideas already in your head that you have created, that you've agreed upon from earlier years in your school. So really nice to see that in the West Bloomfield School District. We'll take a short break on the Splash Live. On the other side, we'll talk about some fun events for seniors including our veterans in Sylvan Lake and beyond, as well as an important event for seniors coming up through one of our state senators. Plus, we'll get to more information on the fire department open house and other important events and stories happening in the greater West Bloomfield area. Stay tuned. More of your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets coming up next on The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Pure is what you make of it. It's how the hustle of the cities can change the course of history. It's the beauty of the things we create on a canvas, on a plate, or stretched high above the sidewalk. It's a patch of green or a stretch of blue, right in the heart of downtown. It's the buzz of it all, or if you prefer, it's tuning it all out. Clear your schedule and pursue your Pure in Pure, Michigan.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. We also thank you for joining us today on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield Fire Department. You can always join us each and every day on our Facebook page at Civic Center TV 15 and find us also on YouTube. And if you don't want to remember all of our different social media handles, those are available to you just on our website, civiccentertv.com. On our homepage, you can watch our shows. You can click through to enjoy our other content from our social media on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on more. And of course, see all of our on-demand programming, including municipal meetings all throughout the week, and a program schedule that tells you when your favorite programs and the meetings you want to see throughout the week from Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, West Bloomfield Township, the West Bloomfield School District, and the Oakland County Board of Commissioners are available on our program schedule for you each and every day. Coming up on Monday, a really fun event for veterans in our community being organized and have been organized throughout the year. It's a Sylvan Veterans Coffee Meet. They do these on occasion throughout the weeks, all throughout the year, in the mornings at the Sylvan Lake Community Center or at other locations throughout the prettiest little city in Michigan. This is open to all Lakes area veterans, and contrary to the image that I've provided to you today, it'll be actual coffee in those mugs, not just the coffee beans. Here's a picture of one of their recent outings that was at a home in the Sylvan Lake area. A bunch of veterans getting together, sharing stories, getting to know each other, fostering friendship in our community. And this is a really great opportunity for people of all different ages, of all different experiences in our armed forces to get together, to meet up and to trade some stories, trade some laughs, and enjoy some beverages and breakfast sweets as well. This will be happening on Monday, September 18th. At 9:30 a.m. at the Sylvan Lake Community Center on Pontiac Drive. It is open not just to veterans in Sylvan Lake, but those in all of our Lakes area communities. So if you're in Keego Harbor, you're in West Bloomfield, you're in Orchard Lake, White Lake, Waterford, Wolverine Lake, wherever you are, Pontiac in our local area, all of our Lakes area veterans are invited to attend this event and join in on the conversation. Kelly Krause, along with six veterans and a nice man named Greg, are the organizers of this event and have sponsored this event all throughout the year. In this case, Rich Cannon is sponsoring Monday's coffee. He, along with six other residents, have generously volunteered to fund these lovely breakfasts for our veterans. So if you're a veteran, you want to attend this event on Monday, you don't have to worry about paying to participate or paying for your breakfast and your coffee. It's all provided for free as a thank you for your service to our country. And you can find more information on the Sylvan Lake What's Going On group to get in contact with Kelly Krause or with Greg, where their information is posted on that. We're not going to provide it on the air to you because it is personal information from them, but they have provided that in the Sylvan Lake What's Going On group. And you can find more information on these and other events in the prettiest little city in the state of Michigan on sylvanlake.org. Across the community in Novi, Senator Rosemary Bayer, one of our state senators from our local area, will be hosting a senior summit later on this month to discuss issues that are affecting our elder communities. This will be happening on September 29th. That is a Friday from 11:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. at the Novi Civic Center on 10 Mile Road, east of Taft Road in the city of Novi. There'll be discussions on distributing resources that are related to issues facing our senior community each and every day. That includes topics of financial empowerment, preventing scams, security for yourself, your home, your finances, housing and foreclosure prevention, and more, all of which are issues that are affecting our senior community in a variety of ways each and every day. Again, you can participate for free Friday, September 29th from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Novi Civic Center. And you can get more information by contacting Senator Rosemary Bayer's office at 517-373-2417. 517-373-2417. 2417. Diane, a great opportunity to have a discussion with one of our state leaders. And these are discussions that are being had across all of our state leaders' offices and across all different demographics of our community, but our seniors, especially here in the greater West Bloomfield area where we have a larger senior population, a great opportunity for them to discuss the issues that affect them on a day-to-day basis and that they may need some further assistance from our state government on with one of our state senators.
That is true, Tyler. I think it is very important. It's great that they're doing this summit. Seniors, the issues that they are facing are very well known, but how to deal with them is a little bit different than what it used to be back in their day. So it is a great way to discuss these issues with them, to show them support, to show them how they can navigate all the hardships they are facing, whether it is housing you mentioned, or finances, or even just show them a little bit of support, being there with their other senior community. It kind of, for me, it is entertaining for them as well, because we know that senior communities right now, they tend to be a little bit lonelier than us, going to school, going to work. They see their families that they are busy. They might not have the time to be with them all the time. Unfortunately, we would love to, but this is a great way to address them. This is a great way to show them support, to show them that even if your family is not around, we are here. The government is here. We are here to support you. We are here to provide you with any assistance you need. So it is a great way to do so.
And you can get more information from calling the senator's office, State Senator Rosemary Bayer, 517-373-2417. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. On the other side, we'll give you some dates that are coming up next week and in the coming weeks to discuss another major issue in our local area, the opioid epidemic, how Oakland County wants your help in order to address the issues on this particular topic and help them figure out where to use money from a windfall in a class action lawsuit to support the prevention of the furthering of the opioid epidemic in our community. We'll have discussions on that, plus how you can help local adoptable pets right here in the greater West Bloomfield area. Those stories and more coming up next. Stay tuned. More of your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets up next on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out?
Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look! Learn more about fire prevention in our community at the West Bloomfield Fire Department Open House, Sunday, October 1st, from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 in West Bloomfield. Embrace safety and celebrate 100 years of service from our West Bloomfield Fire Department, October 1st at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road, plus coverage from us right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live daily news and talk show. It's your stories from your hometown on your community media outlets, Civic Center TV, 89.3 Lakes FM, and online on civiccentertv.com. We also thank you for joining us today on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department, and for joining us on our Facebook page as well at Civic Center TV 15. In addition, go to our YouTube page to find us live each and every day and find us on demand, plus other original programming, including on most weeks, unfortunately not this week, live coverage of West Bloomfield Laker football, and of course, your weekly look into West Bloomfield Lakers football on This Week in Laker Football. In Oakland County, they've already begun discussions called listening sessions all throughout the community to address the opioid epidemic. Between 2020 and 2021, a 119.5% increase in deaths related to synthetic opioids in Oakland County sparked Oakland County to take action. They got involved with some class action lawsuits against those culpable for the opioid epidemic across the United States and won many of those settlements, bringing in now $35 million into the county's coffers over the next 20 years in order to address opioid-related issues in our community, and that has prompted them to hold listening sessions to learn what resources are needed in the community to help prevent opioid overdoses and opioid issues, plus intervention services, what is needed to support people in recovery or those who are currently or going to be in treatment in our area, and other ways to prevent opioids from continuing to be distributed throughout our community in ways that lead to addiction and lead to dependence issues that are seen not just in our communities, but communities across the state of Michigan and around the country. Those listening sessions continue on next week. We got one on Monday at the Southfield Public Library on Evergreen Road from 6:30 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. We have another one on Tuesday next week at the Caustic Center. That is a morning edition of these listening sessions at the Caustic Center on September 19th from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. in Farmington Hills. That will be on Tuesday. Then on Thursday next week, another discussion, this time at the White Lake Public Library from 6:30 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. And then finally, there will be another one a week from Tuesday, the 26th, at Oakland University on Meadowbrook Road in Rochester from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. You can learn more information about these efforts from Oakland County by visiting their website at oakgov.com. Diane, a really great story of our communities coming together in order to support each other and those that are in need. And we also have some opportunities, too, to support those of our furry friends who are in need as well. A really great story about how people in our local area can support our local pets with just a couple minutes left in our program today.
That is true, Tyler. So another issue we're facing right now, other from the opioid issue, is that the shelters are operating at full capacity right now, and everybody needs your help in our community to help these amazing pets find homes. So there's dozens and dozens of pets that are posted on petfinder.com. All you have to do is post your zip code or your area code, and you can find all these pets that are in West Bloomfield that are looking for a home, whether it's in a shelter or someone cannot keep their pets anymore and they are posting it up for adoption. This is a great way to help community members. We do not want to further stress our shelters anymore, and this is a great way not to do so. Remember, there's a lot of abandonment issue in the U.S. currently, and most of these animals are getting put down because not all of them are getting adopted, and this is again another way to help these furry friends because they do deserve a better life. You can go into petfinder.com. There's again dozens of these pets that are, you can find the descriptions, the age and the breed and everything you need to know, and contact anybody you need to contact to go and check them out. So this is a great way to help our community members, and I think it's best not to put all these pets in the shelters. There's a lot of cats and dogs, and we really don't want to put them down. So this is a great way, again, to help our community members find their loving pets or their rescues, a foster or an adoptable, an adoption home.
Yeah, a great opportunity for people in our community to help these animals, maybe find a loving home, or if you know someone that's looking for a pet, and is looking for bringing that new member into their family, maybe a new companion. A great way to do that is to support these animals by adopting from those that are looking to adopt out their pets, or adopt out maybe a new litter of cats or of dogs in the near future. And of course, you can also support, we talked earlier on in the week about ways you can support the Oakland County Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center in their efforts, as well as more animals are coming into their facility, then they can really support if it comes down to it at this rate going forward. So again, more information, oakgov.com to support the Animal Shelter and Pet Adoption Center, and of course petfinder.com to help find these animals, including right here in the greater West Bloomfield area, their forever homes. We thank you for joining us on The Splash Live. It is your home for your stories on your community media outlets. More news and information from around your community is coming up. Stay with us right here on The Splash Live.